And welcome one and all to the Spur and Cobb podcast. I am your host, Julian Mazar. Sitting across from me is my co-host, Jimmy Walsh. We're a couple football fans. I assume if you're tuning into this, you're also a football fan. He being a Bears fan, as you can tell from the decor, me being a Cowboys fan. We're going to give you guys this podcast. It's going to be a mesh. Obviously, it's called the Spur and Cobb podcast, like kind of a play on words. A little cheesy, but pretty it is creative. What it is. Yeah. But yeah, man, this is going to be a football podcast, kind of fusing the two teams together. We both live in DFW. That's where we're stationed at right now. My man is not a Cowboys fan, though, and I'm a semi-Bears fan. I root for the Bears, mostly just due to him putting me onto the Bears.
Can't hate the Bears.
Yeah, I'm learning more as I go from my man over here. He's a encyclopedia of the Bears, if he can say so.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna in this intro podcast, we're basically just gonna break down our fandomship of our teams, of his earliest memories as a Bears fan, like what got him into the Bears, and vice versa, what got me into the Cowboys. So yeah, I think we should just jump right into it. Jimmy, what got you? What made you the time and place of where you were a Bears fan?
Oh, geez. I guess it all started, in the womb.
Yeah, from the womb to the tomb, my man will be a Bears fan.
My mom was not a big football fan or anything, but I was born in Chicago, but my grandma was. So I grew up raised by my grandma, my mom. So my grandma just was always watching that Bears. And I don't know, I think the first memory or the earliest memory would have had to be when we went to the Super Bowl and played the Colts.
What year was that? Do you remember?
2006.
2006. Okay.
So I was 8 years old. Yeah. So not too young, but I mean, I think I remember watching like the Mavericks around that time.
Yeah.
So like that was probably some of my earliest sports memories in general.
Yeah.
So that was probably around that time.
Yeah, just the Chicago basing more so was definitely the root of it all.
Yeah, and
you got to witness the Super Bowl at a young age.
Yeah,
so I bet that was a great opener.
Yeah, for sure. They had some exciting players too, like Hester and Urlacher that kind of made the team more special in a sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Rex Grossman.
Yes, the great Rex, greatest quarterback in Bears history besides McMahon.
Don't
McMahon.
repeat that.
My earliest memory as a Cowboys fan, it's tough. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I'm gonna say Tony Romo was probably our quarterback. It's probably early Romo Witten days.
It's probably on like their whole life, probably, right?
Yes, for the most part. Probably whenever like Terrell Owens was there, I was starting to get. I definitely remember Marion Barber being like the first running back I saw.
That, yeah.
Hey, that's why we do this podcast. Former Bears player, former Cowboys player. Hey, man, pray for that man because he's not doing well these days.
Bro, shout out Marion Barber.
Yeah, shout out Marion Barber. If you know, you know. I wish I could have said if I was 26 years old, maybe I could have said I've seen a Cowboys NFC Championship or a Super Bowl, but I'm
missed it, huh?
Yeah, I'm 23 years old, and really though, I barely missed it. 1996 would have been the year, and I was 97. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that is actually crazy.
So yeah, that was my earliest memories. I think I was a little bit later to football than you were. In two different aspects. Like you were super detailed into football from the get-go. I've always been a football fan, like since I was like 8, but like I just got as detailed as you did within the last couple of years. So you definitely got the one up on me on that. To kind of get this a little bit more centered, I posed a few questions that I wrote down before about our fandomship to our teams, and we also got a little fun trivia, a couple of trivia questions after that. But I'm gonna just start off with the questions. Who is your favorite Chicago Bears player ever?
All time.
And this is all on the spot. Like I haven't even thought of my answers yet.
Yeah, pre-podcast you ran them off, but I don't. That was the only one I remember.
We want to keep it authentic. We want to keep it real. We're not going to be super cookie cutter on this podcast. Just because
not much script.
We're normal dudes. So
yeah, I'd have to say my favorite player would have to just be Walter Payton, just because
Yeah.
I think he's the best running back of all time.
Sweetness, man.
And just even the kind of person he was, and I don't. He just is a great representation of a Chicago Bear.
I mean, he's probably a top 10 NFL player ever.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, offense alone, there's not many guys who are just flat out better.
Well, you turn this into a 2-part question. Who would be your favorite Bears player you've seen
since I was alive?
Yes.
That's a good question.
And I'll do the same for my question.
Yeah, okay. So all time, and then since I was born in 98, you were born in 97. Same thing. So I'd have to say Brian Urlacher.
Yeah.
Because he's the guy who pretty much just got me into football, like wanting to be like a defensive player.
He made that 54 look nasty.
Yeah, and that was my number since I always, when I played football and I played linebacker, I always wore 54 because of him. And he was just like such a big dude in the middle and like just so athletic. I don't know. I just remember him and Hester, if we're honest.
Yeah.
Like I loved watching Devin Hester play.
Yeah.
Not the greatest receiver. He wasn't really out here burning dudes on like post corners,
I mean,
but
greatest returner ever.
Yeah, dude. And like when you saw it, it was like it was something different.
I'm surprised. I like the Walter Payton answer. I would have probably chosen Gale Sayers.
Why?
Just the greatest. He's the greatest playmaker of all time.
He's cold, but I mean, like just the numbers
you can't go wrong with
the consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the player of the year, the man of the year award.
Yeah.
That's after him.
Wow. Yeah. So my favorite Cowboys player ever. Yeah. That's tough.
I'm gonna try and can I guess real quick?
Sure.
I mean, ever it's got.
It's gonna be a different answer than my favorite player I've ever watched. It's a different answer.
Well, yeah, of course. It has to be because you guys won 5 championships before you were born. I don't know. I'd have to say Emmitt Smith.
I was about to say, as I said, whenever he broke Walter Payton's record, move over sweetness. Emmitt Smith is the greatest running back of all time.
He just played longer. You know it. You know he's not playing longer.
But what he meant to the team, I don't think we would have won those championships back in the day. We were definitely a rushing team. Aikman never threw for more than like 3,500 passing yards. He was the cog of that. Besides our offensive line, he was the cog of that team. And I love him post career. I think. He does. He's still in the DFW, still doing a lot for the DFW.
Awesome. CTE has not caught up with that man.
Huh?
CTE has not caught up with that man.
No, not at all.
Very surprisingly, and he was such a hard runner.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is crazy.
So my favorite Cowboys player I ever laid eyes on though.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That is a good question. I'm gonna have to say.
Yeah, who is that?
I'm down to 3 answers, and
hold on. Okay, real quick, is this your favorite or the best player you've seen?
Favorite, one that meant the most to me.
Just okay.
And now that I said that, it narrows it down in my head.
Who?
To 2.
Who? Tony
Romo or Des Bryant.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't think of Des Bryant. Okay, yeah.
Just because the evolution of Des Bryant.
It'd have to be Des Bryant.
I'm gonna say Tony Romo, but the evolution of Des Bryant, it was very personal to me, just because he came out kind of as a blank head, and just seeing him grow up, that was always fun. But it's gonna be Tony Romo, just because, never win the nostalgia of never winning a Super Bowl and being a good enough quarterback where you could have been there in a certain situation, and it just not quite playing out. We'll break down that in one of my least favorite moments from the Cowboys, but
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you might have said Zeke, maybe, just because I think he's probably the best.
He's probably the best, and give it one more year, and I probably would have said that answer. Even a couple more years.
Times are just weird now, dude.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's hard to not choose the quarterback of your childhood team,
You say that. Easy for you to say.
Yeah. You're right. So what was your answer with Walter Payton and
Urlacher,
and I had Emmitt Smith and Romo.
Skill players.
Antonio Romero. So what would another question, what would be your favorite fan moment ever as a Bear? Favorite moment ever?
It would have to be
the proudest you've ever been.
Proudest. Oh, jeez, that's a proudest. Okay. Oh, fortunately, since I've been alive, there's not been many proud moments as a Bears fan. I'd have to say just the one that just stands out in my head is watching Hester return the opening kickoff for a touchdown, because whenever that happened, I mean,
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
mean,
we're gonna win.
Bears are known for having like historic moments and players, and I feel like that fits in like top 10 greatest moments.
I just remember actually watching
Yeah.
it like on my grandma's like couch, like in front. I just remember specifically. It was just kind of crazy. Cause especially since I was so new to football, and I was like, whoa.
See, I would chop off my right pinky to see the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, even if they lost.
No, but that also embedded a deep, dark disliking for said quarterback Peyton Manning.
Oh yeah,
and that followed me.
Okay, I didn't know about your
followed
Peyton Manning
me
beef.
followed me into Denver, not liking
Wow.
him. Yeah,
okay.
But of course, like it's so hard to not like him as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like after
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, but like you see his commercials and like his little goofy stuff, and like he just seems like a friendly dude, and he was never really cocky or anything like that. But I don't know. He just whooped us, man.
Yeah. So my favorite moment as a Cowboys fan,
bittersweet moment, but it would probably be my favorite.
Yeah. Mine's my favorite moment. It ties in to my least favorite moment, and I'll get there. I'll get there.
Same thing.
My favorite moment was 2014. We went. I can't remember what our record was that year. I think it was either like 10-6, 11-5, maybe even 12-4. I think it was 12-4 that year. Actually, it was 12-4. But the wild card game that in the playoffs that we played against the Lions, that was Tony Romo's first playoff victory. It was the 2014 season where we had DeMarco Murray running for 1,800 yards, Des Bryant for 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns.
Oh yeah.
Romo was on an MVP caliber, like 34-6 for touchdowns, interceptions. And yeah, we had a comeback against the Lions on a game-winning drive. It was a pass to Terrence Williams in the back of the end zone. Ndamukong Suh sent Tony Romo on the ground right after the pass, and Tony Romo looked up, laying on the ground, saw it, completed, and pounded the ground so happy, just face down on the ground.
Yeah, I know.
First playoff victory right there that I've witnessed. So that would be my favorite moment. But it follows the week after with my least favorite moment.
Of course.
Transitioning to you, what would be your least favorite Chicago Bears moment?
Oh, Joe. Probably the one that just, it's a pretty obvious one. It's still very recent for a lot of Bears fans.
Hey.
And it's got to be.
You people out there, forget that the Bears were that close a couple years ago. They were that close.
We really were. And we should have been. We shouldn't have even gotten to that being close. That's how good of a team we had. But
y'all's defense was wow.
Yeah, the double doink, dude. And I don't blame it on like Cody Parkey. It's not like I'm.
So, well, explain the setting. What was it? It was the.
Oh God.
Is it the NFC Championship game or the divisional championship?
The divisional game.
Okay.
We were gonna go to the championship game.
In what year? 2018.
Yeah, we were 12-4. Just got little Mack truck, and we were just
Nagy was in the zone.
Yeah, like it all actually was like. But preseason, it seemed like we're trying to be, but it worked. Like Mitch actually showed up. We was doing the thing, but yeah, I thought the Eagles were not gonna. I mean, the Eagles were good, But I didn't.
Was that their Eagles Super Bowl?
No, it was a year after. They won the Super Bowl year before.
Okay, I think you're right.
Right. But in my head, it seems like it was that, and it'd be better because it'd be like, at least they win to win the Super Bowl. But no, they won and they lost. But yeah, it was just I don't even couldn't recall why it came down. Specifically, I tried to forget that game. But yeah, we went. It was like literally a 30-something yard field goal. Like I'm pretty sure I've kicked that out on the field.
Yeah, no, my man. To lay a little context, me and him, we playing football almost every day, and I'm not talking about just like going out in the street and playing football, tossing it back and forth. Like me and him are doing hardcore one-on-one
we be
perfecting
trying to
routes.
Drills and stuff. Yeah. We be kicking.
Yeah. and this man, every once in a while, he'll bust that leg out and he'll start kicking. I don't really do that because I'm not nearly as good as he is. But yeah, so I've seen this man make a 40-yard field goal. So the fact that Parkey couldn't make that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. After that happened, I was practicing. You know what I'm saying, in case I had to step up out that field. But yeah, so he, Yeah, it hit the right upright, and then it bounced. It looked like it was gonna go in, and then it hit the bottom, and then it bounced
Is
right out.
there a worse pressure position than a kicker in a certain situation?
No way.
Okay.
Especially with like the actual physical pressure of like a collapsing. Like,
Yeah,
but
you're
yes,
right.
just mentally, and then well, you have to perform
Yeah,
physically.
yeah,
It's got to be
yeah,
insane.
Yeah, I just feel like a kick
Dude,
in that situation. You just
know how
feel
much-
so helpless.
He was the third. I know I said I don't blame him, but he was the third highest paid kicker in the league at that point. So it's like
That's fun.
you gotta
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
those. Like,
Yeah.
that's all it would have taken.
Yeah.
And
So
he missed one earlier that day, I think, which probably
Wow.
makes that even worse.
Yeah.
Because then we would have
is he still in the league?
No.
He's not. Okay.
Good question.
So
Good
my
question.
least favorite moment, like I kind of segued, 2014. It was the same year as my favorite moment. Like I said, we beat the Lions in the wild card round. It just makes me sick to even bring it up.
Who'd you play?
It was our game against the Packers in the divisional round.
Oh jeez. Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah.
He dropped it.
No, technically, if you look it up right now,
Technically,
it is currently a caught ball.
How? But what was
because they already reversed it. Like it took them about a year and a half. So my least favorite.
Oh, that shouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, well, it is because it's the same thing as
It
if there
was
being
caught,
a no call in a game, like the Rams Saints game with the no call pass interference,
That's how they
and then
ruled it?
clarifying it like a couple days after. So my least favorite moment was the Des Bryant catch non-catch in 2014 whenever he sailed. It was fourth and 3. It was Tony Romo was not playing around. He chunked that thing, a back shoulder fade about 25 yards. Des Bryant soared in the air over Sam Shields and caught the football.
Sam Shields. Wow.
And obviously it was ruled a non-catch.
Mm-hmm.
2014, I was like a junior in high school, maybe a sophomore in high school. I was all in my feels about it. I literally punched my wall.
Like a hole?
No, because I braced myself. It made an indentation though, but I braced myself like right before. I was so mad.
No, I can imagine.
I was so mad because I never seen.
It'd be different if he just clearly dropped.
Yeah, and honestly, I thought that team was like special. If we would have won that game, we would have had to play Seattle that year or the game after in the NFC Championship. And why I was feeling so optimistic about that because we had beaten Seattle earlier in the season in Seattle, whenever that was like the Legion of Boom was like at its peak. So yeah, that's probably my least favorite moment.
So that month for you was just rough.
Honestly,
up and
my
down.
least favorite moments are all against the Packers. 2016
Dude,
divisional championship. Yeah,
you telling me?
You're
dude?
right. So yeah,
telling
that's my least
me,
favorite
dude?
moment. I'm gonna say we go ahead and just take a little bit of a break real quick, just because we're about halfway through the questions. So yeah, we're just gonna go take a real quick break, and we'll be right back. And we are back with the Spur and Claw podcast. I'm your host, Julian Mazar. Sitting across from me is Jimmy Walsh. Breaking down the second half of questions on our intro pod, explaining our fandomships, obviously, like I said. So, like I said, we got 3 more questions left. What would be one past player from the Chicago Bears history that you would add to your team that would have the most significant impact? Your biggest hole on your team, pretty much.
Well, okay. I like the question.
Yeah. You should take into context with what's his name opting out this year.
Eddie Goldman?
Yeah, Eddie Goldman. Because I think I know where my answer would be in that situation.
Okay, that's interesting. Past players. I don't know, man. Honestly, I think our defense isn't really like anything to worry about.
No,
But
you're right. You're right.
On offense, though, of course, the biggest hole is quarterback. But Mitch might just be probably the most talented quarterback.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler had an arm,
Yeah.
but like Mitch is probably just as talented.
Yeah.
And
100%. You don't want your answer to be Jay Cutler either.
And you don't want it to be. I wasn't even thinking Jay Cutler. No. Unfortunately, it would have to just be no. Unfortunately, but I would just have to say Walter Payton. Again. Yeah, I just think he would just. I like David Montgomery a lot, but I mean, throw a little Walter on that offense.
Have David be the backup? Yeah, no, I'd like that.
Walter could play quarterback. We'll just put Walter in quarterback, David at running back. We don't even need a quarterback. We got Walter Payton. Okay. You know.
Okay.
What about you though?
For my answer.
For the Cowboys is different because you guys have a quarterback.
Let me give you my perspective on your question though. So whenever I hinted at Eddie Goldman retiring,
you talking about Perry?
Oh, Perry.
Dude, no.
Adding him to y'all's defense would be nasty, but you're right. Your offense is
he wasn't like that kind of dominant. Like Akeem Hicks is better than him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a different generation too.
I was thinking Julius Peppers type thing. Peppers across from Mac.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Singletary next to Roquan.
Yeah, but you also have Robert Quinn, so
I know. But Julius Peppers is like that.
Yeah. Who's the greatest Bears receiver of all time?
I should probably know that off the top. I don't even think I really.
Yeah, because you guys have
recently Brandon Marshall.
Yeah. I kind of like that answer a little bit.
Years? Oh,
but you do have Allen Robinson though.
No, that's why I wouldn't say Brandon Marshall.
Yeah.
We hadn't had any guy like.
Yeah. So I guess
Hester might.
Yeah. I mean, you have the returner in Cordell Patterson.
That's what I'm saying. We got
your guys is tough. I'd say
there's no offensive lineman.
I don't even know. Yeah.
We don't got some guys really? Like you. Not really. Yeah. I mean, we do.
Maybe bring back Kyle Long in his prime.
Okay, maybe like.
Yeah, it's hard not to choose either Walter Payton or Gale Sayers.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, I'm not gonna. Yeah. Y'all's is tough because I don't know. Maybe insert greatest Bears receiver of all time. So my favorite, or one player that I would add from the past to the current Cowboys team, it has to be secondary for me. I think that's probably our biggest.
Oh, I know who I'm going. What?
I think my answer could be different than yours though.
Who?
So, and I know.
I completely forgot.
I know who you're thinking. I know you're thinking Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
That's
gotta be, huh?
That's an opt out for me. I'm not gonna do that.
Dude?
He played it for us for 2 years or 3 years.
Okay, that is an opt out.
Yeah. I mean he helped us win the 1995 championship or whatever that was. But I like our corner. I like our corners. We got a bunch of. Yeah, I think we have.
You like your corners up against Michael Thomas, Mike Evans?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't think we have a star corner, but I think we have like 5-6 dudes that are just logjam because they're all pretty solid. So for me, my biggest worry with the Cowboys' current team is safety. Who do you think I'm gonna go with here? You're right. The greatest Cowboys safety. No, that's a good question, or that's a good answer. I would add Darren Woodson to the current Cowboys team.
Wow.
He's the greatest Cowboys safety of all time. He should be in the Hall of Fame. He's not. Yeah,
okay, continue.
He's one of in the late 90s, early 2000s, there weren't many safeties that were as good as he was. I think he's better than Brian Dawkins in my opinion. Just because Brian Dawkins didn't play nearly as long as he did. Pull up the stats and you'll see.
That's why I'm saying that's cap. Because you literally look at a screen.
Think about what Darren Woodson.
You saw Brian Dawkins play?
Yeah.
He was the leader of that defense.
Darren Woodson.
By far.
Darren Woodson.
Better leader than Darren Woodson. Not even close.
So Darren Woodson in college was a linebacker.
Really?
He was a linebacker, got converted to strong safety, ended up playing free safety for us, but also was versatile enough to play in the box.
So you're gonna dump off haha?
Hilarious Clinton Dix? Yeah, no, sorry, bud. Xavier Woods will get the start right next to Darren Woodson.
Yeah, there's not really many.
So would it be Deion for you? pretty clear.
Yeah. Deion, just because, I mean, if it's not Deion, it's got to be like...
Williams is a good answer. He just didn't get to play long enough.
Give me a D lineman.
See, I'm trying to think of
D-line.
I'm trying to think of what would make sense with our current team.
A D lineman.
Like interior?
Anywhere.
I think we're good on edge.
Yeah. It's all right.
I think we're pretty solid interior.
It's okay.
I just for interior, you're picking like maybe like Anthony Spence or Jason Hatcher in his best year. Like
what?
We haven't had the best.
That's your best interior defensive lineman?
Oh well, I guess for
Randy
from any time. Okay, from any time. Yeah, no, it'd probably be Bob Lilly, Randy White in that situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say Randy.
But those
White.
dudes couldn't play in the league now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess you're right.
Yeah. So
that's a Deion.
Yeah, to get into a little fun though, me and him came up with like
my questions.
2 trivia questions each. We're gonna try to quiz each other. We don't know the questions that we're gonna ask. So yeah, we're gonna try to.
You start. Come on. All right. All right. So this is interesting because. So I'm not gonna, unless you have no clue, I'm not gonna give you like because it's like a multiple choice.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna even give you those up.
Okay.
You just gotta.
Okay.
Okay. So who is the only Dallas Cowboy to win an NFL title as a player, an assistant coach, and a head coach? Not like necessarily all for the Cowboys, but he like played for the Cowboys.
Wait, say it again.
Well, who's the only Dallas Cowboy to win an NFL title as a player, assistant coach, and a head coach?
Mike Ditka.
Damn, that was cold. You got that right.
Yeah.
That was good. I didn't know that at the time. I was like, damn, that's a good question. Yeah. So Tom Landry, Jason Garrett, Dan Reeves. I was like, that's pretty solid. That was good? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, I got to step it up. All right.
So let me jump to mine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm glad I got that. That was a good one because
it wasn't impossible, but it was...
Because I was just thinking, I was like, who was a player and a coach? And the most renowned that fits both of those would be Mike Ditka. Former Bear too.
Yeah, both of those as a Bears.
Yeah.
Really.
So this is a good question, and again,
geez,
it's kind of specific.
Okay.
The answer is more fun than you trying to guess what it actually is, though. Which defensive formation did Chicago Bears defensive coordinator Buddy Ryan popularize? Made famous.
Bro, I know this.
So
the Tampa?
I can give you it's the front, so I can give you multiple answers.
Okay.
3-4. 4-3, 4-6, 5-2.
Bro, I don't think it's 3-4, is it? It's like 5-2 or something. Mm-mm. What is it?
So it was the 46 defense, which is basically it's 8 men in the box.
Yeah.
And then 6 guys on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Like that is a pressure. That is an insane defense.
You just have 2 corners out.
Yeah, I actually like playing that defense a little bit in Madden.
It's hard though.
If it's like bunch formations and the receivers aren't super far out and it's like all crowded like that, I like to invert it so it looks like I'm playing zone, but I'm not, and they all just rush. That was a really. When was Buddy Ryan the defensive coordinator? Do you know?
I cannot tell you years.
Yeah. It's probably right before he went to the Eagles, so like 80s.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
that was kind of a harder question, but I just thought
that was a rough question.
But I mean, if you have a defensive coordinator that created one of the 4,
he helped popularize a 46, but it's like the 46 isn't like a base.
It's basically an overfront where you have 2 linebackers.
I know what it is, but
it's
not like a base front.
Yeah, but I mean, hey,
like you had 3-4 in there. I was like, did we help create the 3-4? Of course not.
No, yeah, but I mean, hey, that made to be one of the greatest defenses ever, running the 4-6 defense. So that was interesting.
True.
Yeah. What's your second question for me, dude?
Oh, bouncing back to me. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This one. See, this is way too easy now. Now that you gave me that, because I think this was supposed to be the follow-up question in case. Who's the first player drafted by the Cowboys to become an All-Pro?
Oh man. So 1960, the Cowboys were founded. First player to win All-Pro for us?
But that you drafted. Not like how Deion come over.
Yeah. Do you know what year it was at all?
No.
Okay.
And that would be just complete. That would cut out.
But I was just trying to think if it was like the first year that we started Like if we already had drafted an All Pro.
I doubt you drafted an All Pro your first year as an organization.
I want to.
What is it, man?
I'm trying to think of 60s players. Is it like? I'm gonna say just Bob Lilly, I guess.
Yeah,
it's Bob Lilly.
Yep.
Okay, nice.
Bob Lilly.
Nice.
I think he's your first Hall of Famer too.
Man is still breathing.
He's your first Hall of Famer.
Wow.
First man to be in the Hall of Fame as a Cowboy.
Wow.
So
Shout out Bob Lilly.
Bob Lilly. See,
I would have guessed. I would have guessed like maybe a lineman, but I just didn't know maybe like Ed Too Tall Jones or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Those are too easy.
Yeah.
I'll let you off the hook.
Here, I'm gonna give you another question, and I want you to. Do you think you can come up with another question for me?
Man said in the 80s, what was the defense that the Buddy Ryan popularized?
And you might get pissed off with this next question too.
All right, hit me.
It's just more of a fun thing.
You said that before.
I figured out. I figured out the answer. I was like, wow.
Okay, let's hear it.
How much did George Halas pay for the Chicago Bears in 1921?
Oh, jeez, $100,000. 1921.
Yes.
Like $20,000? How much? I have no clue.
And this is why I chose it, because the answer was so good.
What?
In 1921, George Halas bought the Chicago Bears franchise for $1 Benjamin.
No
$100 he bought it for.
Bro. And he set up literally just 2 generations down, like
and let me look up the Chicago Bears.
He dropped a Benjamin on him?
$100.
Well, that's the thing, is because in 21 the NFL wasn't even a thing. It wasn't like
it was like the what, I don't even know what it was called.
AFL.
What were the Bears' originals name?
The Staleys?
The Staleys. So like maybe that was he bought the Staleys for $100.
Yeah, bro. That's insane.
Yeah. Like I remember I was hoping maybe you would ask me how much Jerry Jones bought it for.
Well, you said that. You literally said that question before.
Yeah.
So then I was like, you already
you
saw it or something maybe.
No, I just knew. So
how much?
It's crazy because the Bears are worth $3.45 billion now.
Bro, literally
from $100 to $3.45 billion.
$100 99 years later to $3.4 billion. That was literally 99 years ago.
That might have been one of the greatest investments. Like I thought Jerry Jones's investment for the Cowboys.
What a flip, bro.
Where he paid like $200 million for the Cowboys. People thought that was a mistake by him. They thought that he was going to go bankrupt, and he turned that to the most valuable sports franchise ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like our trivia questions. I almost want to do more just because it's so fun, but
it is. I just don't really have any more. I was looking up some earlier.
Yeah. And we're already reaching pretty close to our time.
We're a bit over 30.
Yeah. So I think we should just go ahead and leave right there. We answered probably about 6 or 7 questions.
We can always maybe come up with another segment or something. Along these lines.
Exactly. So yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in to our first podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we're just a couple of like 20-year-old people that like to talk about football. Couple dudes. Guys being dudes.
Couple pals.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna give you guys like our constant perspective on anything Chicago Bears, anything Dallas Cowboys. We're gonna be pumping out a whole bunch of videos.
About 20 a week.
Roster breakdowns, schedule breakdowns.
Yeah.
Preseason segments, over-unders.
Yes, sir.
We're going to get into all that. We're going to keep you guys supplied, keep you guys updated with everything, like I said, Bears and Cowboys. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Stay safe out there.